Recently, a woman who was 26 weeks pregnant made headlines not only in Australia but the world when she was denied boarding on the Carnival Luminosa in Brisbane for a 3-night cruise to nowhere because of how far along in pregnancy was. Stick around as I go through the whole story, what the cruise line's response was, and if I believe the woman was right or wrong to be denied. Let's start off with a summarised version of the events. The woman named Kaylee Farrington, who was all ready to board the ship when she was asked about her pregnancy, she told the truth and said that she was in her 26th week, and that was when the cruise staff at the terminal informed her that because of how far along she was not permitted to enter the ship, as the cruise line's rules for pregnancy are that a woman cannot board a cruise ship once they have entered their 24th week of pregnancy, as stated in the cruise contract. Obviously, after being told this, Kaylee was devastated, as her mother had purchased the tickets as a gift, even to the point where she was assuming the staff were making a joke. Kaylee and her mother thought that the rules would be the same as the other things in the travel industry like airlines, and she would have a much longer cut-off time before she would be denied boarding. For most airlines, as long as the doctor has cleared you, it's usually around 36 weeks, and Kaylee's doctor had cleared her to board the ship. Kaylee and her mother also believed that at the time of the booking it should have been made much clearer what the rules are as far as pregnancy is related rather than reading the cruise contract, and the question should have been asked when she made the booking. Kaylee and her mother are now out about $2,000 out of pocket since they had not known about the cruise contract stating about boarding the ship, and as such are ineligible for a refund. So what did the cruise contractor say about being pregnant on a cruise ship? In Carnival's contract, on clause 9, it states, "We are unable to accept any guest who has entered their 24th week of pregnancy or later at any time during the cruise. If you are pregnant at the commencement of your cruise, you must obtain a letter from your doctor prior to embarkation which confirms you are fit to travel and specifies your estimated due date. This letter must be produced upon request." That's all good and well, but is that just for Carnival? What do some of the other cruise lines say? For Royal Caribbean, in Section 10 of their contract, it states, "Royal Caribbean International welcomes pregnant guests, but due to limited medical facilities on board, will not accept guests who enter their 24th or later week of pregnancy by the beginning of or at any time during their cruise. All pregnant guests are required to bring a doctor's fit for travel letter with them to the pier stating the number of weeks pregnant at the date of sailing and they are not a high-risk pregnancy." And lastly, for Norwegian cruises, it states in Article 5, Section G, "The guest agrees not to present herself for a boarding under any circumstances if, by the time the guest will conclude her travel with the carrier, she will have entered the 24th week of her pregnancy." As you can see, it's not just Carnival that has this rule, it's industry-wide. So why do cruise lines not permit a pregnant person after 24 weeks to board? It's all got to do with the safety of the baby and the mother. Cruise ships and their medical centres aren't equipped to handle everything that can go wrong in every medical situation, and a premature birth is one of those things. They don't have prenatal or any infant facilities on the ships. If something were to go wrong, I think we can all agree that the sooner proper medical attention is able to get there, the better. So why do airlines permit you then? They don't have medical facilities either. It comes down to how quickly they can get help. A plane, even in the ocean, might only be a couple of hours from being able to get to land and to get the person to a hospital. A ship, depending on where it's located, could be days away from land. Can't a ship just medevac them off if there's an issue then? This is one of those things where if they can avoid it, they will. Not all helicopters are capable of landing on ships, and the alternative is hoisting someone from the ship to the medevac helicopter. Doing that, especially to a pregnant woman who is in labour, is probably something they want to avoid. So should she have been able to get her fare refunded after all of this? This is really up to the cruise line and possibly their legal teams and the woman. I'm not going to go into that. This might be one of those times where having travel insurance might have been a fantastic idea, as depending on the cover and what their policy says, she might have been eligible to get her money back, but we don't know whether she had a travel insurance or what her cover was if she did. So what do you think about all of this? Should she have been allowed to go on the cruise? Should she have been given the refund? Tell us in the comments. As for me, I don't think the woman should be able to argue ignorance as far as not being able to board, and she should have seen what the cruise lines say for her situation. The cruise line can't be blamed for asking every single question that would disqualify you from taking a cruise when booking it. It's really up to her to take the time to see what those rules are. But since she was denied boarding in the first place and she couldn't get onto the ship, that should have been enough reason for her to get a refund or at least a future cruise credit. If you found this helpful, press the like button, and if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, it'll help us grow. If you want to know some of the other things that a cruise contract states, have a look at this video here, and thanks for watching.